Hello, Cleveland kindergarten families. Welcome to another parent video. My name is Jennifer Pasmore. I am a teacher at Cleveland Elementary, and today's video is an important one. It is all about attendance. So, I hope you're having an amazing day. Let's go ahead and dive in and get started talking about attendance. Let me bring up our slides here. All right, here we go. This is a critical, critical discussion today. Attendance at school is so important. Your child needs to be at school every single day, and you need to do everything within your power to make sure they are at school every single day. Why is attendance so important? Why am I stressing this so much? So, students need to be at school to learn. If they're not at school, they're not going to learn. Children thrive in routine and structure. And when they are not at school, it breaks their routine and structure. Relationships are built when students are at school. So when your child is not at school, then they're missing out on building relationships with all the other students in the class, with me, with other adults in the building. The more they're there, the stronger and the better their relationships with others are. So relationships are built when students are at school. Um, Students who struggle with attendance tend to have more behavior issues. And a big part of that is their structure is getting all messed up and their routines are getting all messed up. And then they can't predict what's going to happen next. They don't know if they're going to school, if they're staying home, they're confused. That sets off behavior issues. It just, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. So they're not there to learn the structure and the routines. So then everyone else is following, and then they're lost and confused and embarrassed because they don't know what to do. It just starts a snowball effect. So they need to be at school to decrease those behavior issues. They feel a part of the school when they're there. And then the behaviors tend to go away and they relax because they feel like that's their school family. Students at school can take advantage of different opportunities throughout the day. If they're not there, they miss it. Sometimes we have like fun activities that they get to do, and if they're not there, they miss it. We've had a petting zoo come to the school. If they're not there, they miss it. We've had fall festival where we bring in pumpkins and hay rides and all kinds of fun things, and if they're not there, they miss it. So they're going to miss fun stuff as well as academics. And then attendance lays the foundation for future education and career success. In the future, if they think, well, I don't have to go to school, it's not as important because I didn't have my mom didn't make me go all the time. Then that habit's going to continue throughout their education. They're going to continue missing days at school. They're going to continue giving you problems with getting them to school. And then once they graduate or finish school, then they're going to go to, and it's just going to carry over into college or into their career. And it's just going to cause a heap of problems. Um, when you consistently send them to school, they know it's serious, it's important, and they need to go. And then that sets the foundation for future grades, future learning, all the way through college, all the way into career success. So, if you haven't figured out by now, attendance is really important. Let's talk about rewards for attendance. So, students that meet attendance goals set at school are eligible for attendance parties and celebrations. Some celebrations that we've had in the past, we did skate parties last year, where students who had 100% attendance got to attend the Skate World party and go on a field trip and go roller skating. We've had ice cream sundae parties. We do all kinds of things to celebrate attendance because it is so important. Um, Also, students who attend school, every day they attend school, they receive a point that goes towards their PSC celebration for that cycle. So, attendance is one of their 5 points that they can earn. Just by showing up to school, they get a point. Okay, now there are going to be times when your child is sick and you need to keep them at home. I get it. We don't always feel 100%. Sometimes we do need to stay home, and I get that. So, when do you keep your child at home? When your child is sick, please keep them at home, especially in kindergarten. A lot of these babies have never been in school before. They're building their immune system. And when you send a child who is sick to school, it's going to spread to everyone. It just happens. So, keep your child sick. Here's when you or keep your child sick. Keep your child at home when they're sick. Here is when you need to keep them home. If they have a fever over 100 degrees, they need to stay home. Um, and they have to be 24 hours fever free before they can come back to school. So if they have a fever at 8 o'clock in the morning and you keep them at home, and at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, they still have a fever, then they need to stay home the next day, even if they're fever free in the morning. And this is fever free, not on any medication. Okay. So they can't be on Tylenol or Advil, nothing like that. They have to be medication free, fever free for 24 hours before they can come back to school. Do not send them to school if they have, really bad nausea or they're throwing up. Child has to be vomit free for 24 hours before they can come back to school. Diarrhea. If they have severe diarrhea, do not send them to school. That could be just a signal that something worse is coming and they've got a stomach bug. So just, you know, if they've got really upset stomach, keep them home. If it balances out throughout the day and they perk up and they're fine and you haven't seen the diarrhea, you see it in the morning, and then as the day progresses, they're fine. My thought is if they have diarrhea, keep them home for 24 hours and then send them back. Just because you never know. And these guys forget to wash their hands a lot. We remind them and remind them and remind them, and they still forget. And then it spreads. So, yeah, keep them home if they're sick. If your child has had a rough night, so here's an example. If they were up all night coughing or having trouble breathing, keep them home the next day. Let them rest. They're not going to be an optimal learning condition to take stuff in that we're teaching. They're going to be exhausted. They need to rest and recover. If they get up in the morning and they're just listless or lethargic, and you can just tell by looking at them, they're miserable, keep them home. It's okay. Um, Pink eye. If you suspect they have pink eye, keep them home. That stuff spreads like wildfire in our classroom. Um, and again, the ultimate rule is if they don't see themselves, they're miserable, they're just yucky, keep them home. Simple stuffy noses, coughs, they don't stop many kids from enjoying and participating in school. So if your child is congested or has a sore throat, but they're still like active in the morning and they're able to get themselves ready and they're perked up and they're okay, that's a good sign that they can handle the school day. Um, and this is just a simple list of things. If you're in doubt, call your child's doctor. They're the expert. Okay, if your child is going to be absent, what do you need to do? Number one, give me a call, or you can message me on Parent Square or send me an email. Let me know your child is going to be absent. You can let me know. You can let the front office know. We also have an attendance email, and you can send an email to the attendance email that your child is going to be absent. We need to know they're going to be absent. When your child returns to school, then you send a note with your child's name, their date, and the reason why they were absent. Okay. And then you can put that note in their yellow folder. I have a little zipper pouch in, I say yellow folder, we had yellow last year. In their take home folder, I'll have a zipper pouch in there. You can put the note in the zipper pouch and zip it shut so it doesn't get lost. And then I will make sure to turn it in so that we can get your child's absence excused. Make sure every day your child is absent, you call us, notify us, call the office, send me an email, send an email to the Cleveland email, attendance email. Let us know every day your child is absent. And then when you send the note, you have to put the dates that they were absent so we can get those excused for you and they don't count towards unexcused absences. Okay, now this is a part I don't like to talk about. What happens if your child misses a lot of school? It is so important for your child to be at school every day. I can't emphasize it enough. I understand that illnesses happen. I understand that things happen that can cause extended absences. Getting a doctor's excuse is imperative when your child is out for an extended period of time. This way, we can get the absence excused for you. Send in a note when they return. It is so important that you do that again so we can excuse their absence due to illness. Here are some things that happen when your child starts to miss a lot of school. If your child is school age and they are absent without a legitimate excuse, okay, so they don't have a good reason for being out of school, and they have missed 30 or more consecutive hours, so that's about 5 school days, or 42 or more hours, which is like 7 school days in 1 month, or 72 or more hours, which is about 12 school days in 1 year, then they are marked as habitually truant. And you don't want that mark on their record. But they're flagged that they have habitual truancy. The next step would be chronic absenteeism. Actually, I think there was one after that. No. Then we have chronic absenteeism. So this is defined by the Every Student Succeeds Act, and it is missing 10% or more of the school year for any reason. Okay. So whether your child is sick or not, if they miss more than 10% of the school year, they're marked having chronic absenteeism. Here's what's going to happen if your child misses a lot of school. Number one, you're going to get a call from me, and I'm going to let you know, hey, I'm just looking at their attendance, and they are missing several days. I just wanted to give you a heads up and let you know, and I'll let you know what their attendance percentage is. If attendance doesn't improve after I give you a phone call and we talk about it and try and make it better, then you're going to get a call from our attendance committee from the building. And they're going to stress to you how important attendance is and try and come up with ways that they can help you so that your child can get to school every day. If the attendance still doesn't improve after the committee calls you, then you're going to get a call from the truancy officer for our school. And they are going to stress to you that your child needs to get to school so that you don't have legal repercussions. If attendance still doesn't improve after that, then the district is going to submit paperwork to the court system for truancy. And at that point, you're going to be called into court to appear for a truancy case, which we don't want that to happen. And we're going to give you every opportunity we can to prevent that from happening. So, but you're going to know if it's coming because we've called you a lot of times to tell you about your child's attendance. But we're not going to get there. I'm telling you just so you know, but we're not going to have any of those problems because everybody's going to come to school every single day so we can earn attendance parties. I have a jar in my room that sticks on the whiteboard, and they can drop little stars in it. And if we get all the stars in the jar, they get a pizza party. And every time everybody comes to school, I give them a star. So we're gonna fill that jar lots of times this year because everybody's gonna come to school. I know you all are. So that is all I have for you for attendance today. I cannot stress to you enough how important attendance is. Get your child to school every day. It is so vital to their success. Um, if you have an issue with attendance and getting your child to school, you need help, call me, message me. We will figure it out. We got to find a way to get them to school because they need to be there every day. Now, if they're sick, I get it. Otherwise, they need to be at school. So, thank you so much for listening to today's presentation. Thank you for making attendance a priority every single day so that your child can learn at their best. I appreciate your attention to this subject, and I look forward to our next video together, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much, and have a great day. Bye.